Saint Pius of Pietrelcina, known as Padre Pio, transmitted profound teachings about the true potential of holy water throughout his life. For him, this sacramental goes far beyond a simple Catholic tradition. It represents an extraordinarily effective spiritual tool when used correctly. The Italian saint frequently emphasized that the secret to experiencing divine manifestations in our lives is intimately connected to the proper understanding and application of this sacred resource. In his encounters with the faithful, Padre Pio warned about the consequences of not fully taking advantage of this gift. He compared holy water to a spiritual medicine that, although always containing powerful active ingredients, only produces complete results when administered, according to the correct prescription. This analogy illustrates how our approach determines the effectiveness of this sacrament in our daily lives. We cannot underestimate the importance of holy water in Christian life. It transcends the symbolic aspect, establishing a direct channel with Christ. Its function goes beyond liturgical moments, integrating as a fundamental element of moral and spiritual living. It is concerning to observe how many Catholics keep containers of holy water in their homes without effectively incorporating it into their daily routine. Padre Pio expressed concern when noticing that many devotees, even while having holy water at home, continued to experience spiritual fragilities. These vulnerabilities manifest through subtle signs, seemingly unjustified family conflicts, feelings of oppression in certain domestic environments, and difficulties in maintaining spiritual clarity. The 5 essential principles for using holy water. First principle, regular and integrated use. One of Padre Pio's fundamental teachings refers to the frequency of holy water use. Contrary to common practice, he emphasized that this sacramental should not be reserved only for moments of crisis. On the contrary, it represents a resource to be naturally incorporated into daily life. The saint firmly believed in the divine presence manifested through this consecrated element. His recommendation was clear. We should establish a continuous relationship with God through the regular use of holy water, not just resorting to it in problematic situations. This sacrament should permeate our family environment, daily blessing, our home and all who dwell in it. Padre Pio insisted that consistency in applying this sacramental triggers its spiritual benefits. According to his teachings, the disciplined use of holy water establishes a protective barrier against negative influences while neutralizing harmful energies. He especially recommended its sprinkling before nighttime rest, thus ensuring peaceful sleep. The testimonies of those who followed this guidance are remarkable. Many report significant transformations in the domestic environment, reduction of tensions, improvement in relationships, and establishment of an atmosphere of serenity. Padre Pio explained that this phenomenon occurs because holy water effectively purifies the spiritual environment. Second principle, conscious intention and prayer. Another common error identified by Padre Pio is the mechanical use of holy water without inner involvement or accompanying prayers. This superficial approach significantly compromises the sacrament's effectiveness. It is fundamental to understand that holy water does not operate like an amulet with automatic properties. Its spiritual power manifests through the faith and intention of the user. The saint emphasized that prayer transforms a simple gesture into a powerful act of spiritual protection. When we use holy water with full consciousness, sincere faith and prayer, we activate its true potential. The effectiveness of this sacrament multiplies when accompanied by a genuine expression of faith. Padre Pio highlighted that it is not the quantity of water used that determines its effectiveness, but rather the quality of faith present during its use. According to his teachings, holy water functions as a conductor of divine protection when we consciously recognize God's presence. The correct approach consists of accompanying each use with a brief yet intense prayer. Before sprinkling holy water in your residence or upon yourself, a moment of spiritual recollection is recommended. A particularly effective prayer recommended by Padre Pio is, Lord, through this holy water, pour your protection and love into my home. Remove all negativity and fill this environment with your peace. The crucial element in this process is establishing a conscious connection between the physical act and the spiritual intention. During the sprinkling, Visualize the divine blessing enveloping your home. This inner disposition distinguishes an empty ritual from a transformative spiritual practice. Third principle, protection of entrances. The third crucial teaching refers to the importance of specifically blessing the entrances of the residence. These access points possess particular spiritual significance, representing transition zones between the external environment and the personal sanctuary of the home. As the saint explained, these areas require specific protection to ensure that only positive influences cross our thresholds. The recommended practice includes regularly sprinkling holy water at all entrances of the house. Ideally, one should walk the perimeter of the residence, tracing a small sign of the cross with holy water over each doorpost, accompanying the gesture with a protective prayer. The main door deserves special attention as it constitutes the primary access to the family space. As additional protection, Padre Pio suggested keeping a small container with holy water near the main entrance. This element serves both as a practical reminder to bless oneself when entering and leaving, and as a continuous point of blessing for the residents. The consistent implementation of this practice establishes what Padre Pio called a sanctified perimeter around the living space. Numerous followers of this teaching report perceptible changes in the domestic atmosphere, a sensation of lightness, tranquility, and protection that permeates the entire environment. Fourth principle, protection of nighttime rest. The fourth teaching addresses a particularly vulnerable moment, the sleep period. Many people experience insomnia or nightmares without realizing that their resting space can benefit enormously from the protection provided by holy water. Padre Pio taught that during rest, when our conscious defenses are reduced, we become particularly susceptible to spiritual influences. For this reason, he emphasized the importance of blessing sleeping areas with holy water. The place where we spend approximately 1/3 of our existence deserves differentiated spiritual protection. The recommended procedure consists of sprinkling a few drops of holy water on the pillow and bed before lying down, accompanying the gesture with a brief prayer for peaceful rest. This ritual need not be elaborate. Simply trace the sign of the Eid, cross with the water, and request divine protection during the sleep period. A particularly impressive testimony illustrates the effectiveness of this practice. A woman who had suffered from chronic insomnia for years learned about Padre Pio's teaching on blessing the bed with holy water. After a week of faithfully following this practice, she began to experience profound transformations in her sleep patterns. Besides falling asleep more easily, her rest became deeper and more invigorating. This practice especially benefits people who experience disturbing dreams or feelings of oppression in their bedrooms. Holy water creates what Padre Pio described as a sanctuary of rest, a protected space for peaceful and restorative sleep. Fifth principle, protection of the most vulnerable. The fifth teaching refers to the protection of the most vulnerable, members of the family nucleus, particularly children. Many parents pray for their children, but neglect the powerful protection that blessing with holy water can provide them. According to Padre Pio, children possess spiritual sensitivity superior to that of adults. Their spiritual boundaries are still developing, which makes them simultaneously more perceptive to spiritual realities and potentially more vulnerable to negative influences. For this reason, the saint especially emphasized the use of holy water to bless and protect little ones. The recommended procedure is simple. Each night, place a small drop of holy water on your finger and trace the sign of the cross on your child's forehead, accompanying the gesture with a brief blessing. This can become a beautiful nighttime ritual, simultaneously providing spiritual protection and a moment of effective connection. This practice is not restricted to young children. It is appropriate for family members of all ages. Spouses can bless each other, adult children can bless elderly parents, and friends can offer this blessing to one another when appropriate. The essential element is to perform it with genuine love and sincere faith. The aspect that makes this practice particularly effective is its consistency. Instead of reserving it for moments of crisis, regular blessing with holy water establishes what Padre Pio called a mantle of protection, which progressively strengthens This spiritual shield constitutes a solid foundation for the integral well-being of the person. We now come to the most profound teaching that Padre Pio shared about holy water, a spiritual revelation that few comprehend fully, but which contains the key to experiencing its transformative power. Padre Pio revealed that holy water is not merely protective, but actively transformative. When used correctly, integrating the 5 practices discussed, this sacrament becomes a conductor of authentic miracles and divine intervention in our daily lives. Holy water, Padre Pio explained, is a receptacle of divine grace capable of transforming not only our spiritual environment, but also our material circumstances. He observed that most of the faithful never experience this transformative power because they use holy water sporadically or incompletely. The fundamental revelation is this: the faithful use of holy water establishes channels for divine grace to flow abundantly in all dimensions of our existence. This occurs because the proper use of this sacrament does not constitute a mere isolated ritual, but a concrete expression of faith that aligns us with the divine will. Each time we use holy water with conscious intention and prayer, we are consenting to the divine presence in our lives. When the 5 practices discussed are integrated into our daily routine, we establish what Padre Pio called a complete circuit of grace in our home and existence. This integral approach distinguishes occasional users of holy water from those who experience its full transformative potential. It represents the difference between sporadic spiritual protection and existence immersed in a continuous flow of divine blessing. The signs of this transformation include greater domestic serenity, improved sleep and physical health, strengthened family relationships, protection against adversities, and intensified awareness of the divine presence in our daily routine. Padre Pio frequently advised people with seemingly insoluble problems to initiate this integral practice with holy water before any other intervention. Many returned amazed to find how situations stagnant for years suddenly began to resolve after faithfully implementing these recommendations. This approach does not involve superstition, but proper appropriation of the spiritual resources that the Church makes available. When we do this with authentic faith, we open ourselves to the fullness of divine grace. We have discovered the 5 essential teachings of Padre Pio on the proper use of holy water, wisdom that has remained partially hidden for many Catholics. These are not complex practices, but simple and powerful gestures capable of transforming our spiritual protection and attracting divine blessings. We learned that holy water should be used daily, not just in critical moments, that each application should be accompanied by conscious prayer, that the entrances of our residences need regular blessing, that our resting spaces should be sanctified, and that the most vulnerable members of our families deserve special blessing. Above all, we assimilated Padre Pio's revelation that holy water, when used correctly and consistently, establishes a continuous flow of grace that transforms our integral existence. Imagine your residence transforming into a sanctuary of peace, your sleep becoming restorative, your relationships strengthening, and previously insurmountable challenges finding resolution. This is the potential that Padre Pio identified in the proper use of holy water, not as a magical solution, but as a channel of divine grace when employed with authentic faith. Padre Pio's words remind us, holy water is more powerful than you imagine. Use it with faith, and you will witness miracles in your life. Now that we know both the common misconceptions and the correct approach for using holy water, the decision is in our hands. If you have holy water in your residence, begin using it with purpose and faith today. Do not leave it forgotten in a container. It represents one of the most powerful tools that God has given us for protection and serenity. If you do not have holy water at home, visit your parish to obtain it and begin implementing these practices immediately. Start today by blessing your residence, your family, and yourself with holy water. Share these teachings with your loved ones, as many Catholics are missing the opportunity to experience the true power of holy water in their lives. May Padre Pio intercede for you and help you to live under divine protection. May the proper use of holy water bring new blessings, protection, and peace to your home and family. Thank you for watching this video. Leave your like and subscribe to the Living Hope channel on YouTube. Activate notifications by clicking on the bell to receive other publications.